Have you ever met someone who seems to remember everything? Names, facts, tiny details from months ago, almost like their brain has unlimited storage. In Japan, many students develop memory habits that look almost effortless from the outside. But here's the truth, it's not talent. It's not a photographic memory. It's a set of subtle, almost invisible habits that quietly train the brain every single day. And once you understand them, you start to realize, remembering more isn't about working harder. It's about working differently. One of the most fascinating habits is what I like to call micro-encoding. Instead of trying to memorize large chunks of information, many Japanese students naturally break knowledge into extremely small pieces and attach meaning to each one. Imagine trying to memorize a long phone number. If you stare at all 10 digits at once, your brain protests like, "Nope, not today." But if you split it into small patterns, dates, lucky numbers, or shapes, it suddenly becomes manageable. Studies on cognitive load show that the brain stores information far more efficiently when it's grouped into meaningful fragments. It's like packing a suitcase. Fold your clothes, and suddenly you have space. Just throw everything in, and nothing fits. Another powerful habit is something I call environmental memory. Many students in Japan unconsciously link information to places, sounds, or small rituals. For example, reviewing vocabulary while walking the same street or sitting in the same cafe corner. Over time, the environment itself becomes a trigger. Neuroscience suggests that the brain encodes context along with information, which is why you sometimes remember a song instantly when you smell a certain perfume or revisit an old place. Ever walked into a room and forgot why you went there? Then walked back out and suddenly remembered? That's context-dependent memory in action. And yes, your brain isn't broken, it's just dramatic sometimes. The third habit is surprisingly simple but rarely talked about: productive forgetting. This sounds strange, but it's powerful. Instead of cramming endlessly, some students intentionally leave small gaps between reviews, allowing themselves to almost forget the material before revisiting it. That slight struggle to recall actually strengthens memory. Psychologists call this the desirable difficulty effect. Think of it like going to the gym. Lifting a feather doesn't build muscle. A little resistance does. When your brain has to work to retrieve information, it upgrades the memory like installing a new software patch. And here's a habit that's both unusual and incredibly effective: teaching the invisible audience. Many Japanese students rehearse what they learn as if they are explaining it to someone else, even when no one is there. They might whisper explanations, write imaginary lecture notes, or mentally walk through a concept step by step. This works because teaching forces the brain to organize knowledge, not just store it. There's even research showing that students who expect to teach remember significantly more than those who only expect to be tested. So yes, talking to yourself might actually be a sign your brain is leveling up. Just maybe don't do it loudly in a crowded elevator. What makes these habits so powerful is that none of them rely on raw intelligence. They rely on design. They make memory natural instead of forced. And once you start applying even one of these techniques, something interesting happens. You stop feeling like information slips through your mind. Instead, it starts to stick, quietly, steadily, almost effortlessly. Because memory isn't really about how strong your brain is. It's about how smart your habits are. And sometimes, the smallest habits are the ones that change everything.